Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we believe ads are not bad, ignorance is expensive, and the American dream is alive and well on the internet today. It is Thursday, April 23rd, 2026. We're coming to you live from an undisclosed location in the beautiful hills of Austin, Texas. We're brought to you by Siguno, Postscript, and Incense, and we got a jam-packed show for you today. Create Gummies has been sued, but founder Dan McCormick is not taking it laying down. He has publicly fired back, as well as the rest of D2C Twitter has had much to say. David Herrmann is meta tired. That is correct. The ad platform has not been serving him or many others correctly over the past week, and he's got a lot to say about it. Also, turns out AppLovin, very stable and doing well for him while all that has taken place. The good news is, maybe it's not good news, but it's at least consolation. Many of us have experienced the exact same thing. Walmart's great value brand is going through a rebrand. We'll get into, is it a yay or nay? Turns out they may be the new Target of 2026, a la Target of 2006. We're going to be joined by Orlando Rios, founder of Raised by Coyotes, also founder of Dropkick Ads. And we'll also be joined by Kip Roland, live seller extraordinaire, founder of Lounge, Edit, and Live Selling Academy. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here. Get inside this show.
Oh, we're back.
We're back. We are
Chris,
back. D2C
Chris,
is back.
I'm highly caffeinated on Seek coffee right now. It's pumping through every orifice of my body. Everyone.
Let's go. Me too. Our boy Caleb Swoop came in the clutch again. Caleb Swoop.
I drank three. I drank three this morning.
Stop it.
I can see sounds. I can see sounds.
You did not. You did not drink three.
Oh
but
my gosh.
if you did, you probably would be seeing sounds. Caleb Sloop came in the clutch.
So good.
Brought us through the Seek coffee again. I would say, Colin, there's no doubt about what is the top story of the day.
100%.
Many have had much to say about the latest tweet from our lawyer friend, Robert Friend, related to Create Gummies, specifically getting sued. Now, before I read this, I just will say that I do think Rob is just reporting here. He's not saying yay, nay, one way or the other, but many people had much to say about this being a lot of baloney, and maybe they're not fully coming through in Rob's tweet. He says this: Create Gummies was sued in a false advertising class action today. The plaintiff says Create advertises that each 3 gummy serving contains 4.5 grams of creatine, but testing shows that the products contain about 10% less than that. This got 123,000 views yesterday, 43 comments, a bunch of bookmarks. Of course, Rob dropped the link. And he did remind everyone allegations in a complaint are just that. It's just allegations. But the internet had much to say about it, and Dan did as well. Dan McCormick, founder of Create, did as well. Now, Jack, if you can bring his Twitter feed up, I think we'll be able to see something. But what you'll notice here is that the original quote tweet, the original quote tweet that Dan put out has been deleted. Okay. So I don't know what that said, his original quote tweet, but he was very active in the replies. And of Dan's replies here, he firstly said this, it's a business of plaintiff lawyers. The plaintiff himself is just responding to an ad. They go after companies with money because the expected value of a settlement is higher. For the avoidance of doubt, we over-deliver on creatine potency. We have batch level testing from Eurofins on this customer specific product that shows greater than 20%. Oh, it shows 20% overage. A plaintiff can use any test methodology, validated or not, to file a suit like this. The testing results in the filing, for all we know, are completely fabricated and or compromised, but filing gets us to the settlement table. And again, this is a business for the plaintiff lawyers. So getting their cut of the settlement is all they ultimately care about. I also thought of note here a little bit further down, somebody wrote in, Dave Schulte said, then do independent testing before selling a white label product, trying to come in hot here, like most trusted brands do. Dave's trying to come in hot. It'll save you a lot in litigation fees. Dan said, hi. I like the beginning of this tweet. Hi. Hi. We conduct about $100,000 per month of potency and labels claims per month. Having a legit product doesn't prevent you from a third party conducting, producing bogus testing results and using those results in a legal filing. I just wanted to highlight some of these replies here because I think this is important based on the recent situation that happened with David Protein. They had a suit brought against them. They went very active in educating, talking, explaining, developing ads around this short form video, etc. I felt like they basically won the public court in the public court of opinion, and then ultimately, actually, the suit got dropped several weeks later. But Dan, very active here. I'm interested to see what else will take place. Before we move forward, your thoughts on this in total, Colin?
Yeah, it's America. Everybody's going to sue everybody, unfortunately. But I love Dan here basically backing his rationale and his product with data and basically the receipts. He's saying, this is not true. This is factually untrue. They're trying to get a settlement. They're trying to get a payday and extort that out of my business. And I love that he came out hot, hip checking back, and not really cowering in fear whatsoever. I think he's going to win this pretty easily.
I think he's going to win too, and I think I think people coming in the comments and trying to heat him up, light him up, I think are going to have egg on face. Specifically, like when Dan here says, "Hi, yeah, we spend about $100,000 per month on exactly what you're talking about." I think if you spend that amount of money testing third party, what, it should give everyone a little, conscience can rest. They can rest easy that they're going to get the amount of creatine that they should be getting in their gummies. Go ahead.
There was a long YouTube video from fitness influencer James Smith about 6 months ago about testing all of the creatine gummies, and he basically tested all of them from Amazon. All of them. He did them all third party by himself. He tested about 8 total, and he published the results. Create was one of the only gummies that actually leveled up and, in fact, over-delivered on total number of creatine per gummy. And I would imagine if I'm Dan, I'm going to be using that in the actual lawsuit. And I'm going to say, hey, I didn't make this video. This is an influencer that did this other third-party testing, and he found that entirely we were accurate. I think this is totally lame. Dan's going to keep moving forward. The business is going to keep moving. The business is going to keep growing, and then he's going to sell for $1 billion like Grunz.
I think he is.
Yeah.
And, when Rob was on the show, he mentioned, hey, if you'll just add a little piece in your terms of service that, we're not going to participate. This doesn't allow you to bring us in a class action lawsuit just by buying this product, et cetera. If you'll add that, it could save you money down the road in court costs like this. Somebody brought that up in the comments. It was Rafi Hath Chowdhury. He brought this up. You bring it back up if you can bring it up for us, Jack. Roth, I'll just call him Roth, said they are cringe ASF. Did your policy not have class action and arbitrage rule? Basically, customers agree to not join any class action against you. I got sued for misleading subscription program in a very similar manner and had to settle for a significant amount. Tell them that you will have to close the LLC and they will never see a penny if it's over a certain amount. Dan says, customer emailed the day after purchasing, opting out of the terms of service. So Dan did have this piece inside of customer terms of service, and they emailed and said, we reject that. We're opting out of that. And then said, so this was all coordinated with the plaintiff's lawyer. This is an ambulance chaser.
This is an ambulance chase.
It totally seems to be the case this is exactly what Dan is describing. This is all orchestrated by the plaintiff. This is why you'll see ads at certain times out there. Hey, if you bought this product, you can make lots of money. Why don't you come talk to us? This is a lawyer who has found a potential opportunity to get a hefty settlement. Don't take it to court, blah, blah, blah. Give me a settlement. He takes his check. Customer gets some check. And then what happens is the brand loses out. The brand loses out. But I don't want to see any more of this, especially not for our boy Dan. And I applaud his standing up and communicating here. I think if they will double down on this and keep going, they'll win the public court of opinion, regardless of what happens here in the future. And maybe pile up enough evidence. Taylor Sicard had stuff to say on this too. Wrote a lengthy post, but I think if you can pile up enough evidence here, maybe there's no need for anything, and maybe the settlement just goes completely away, as it did in the case of David Protein. I don't know the details of that, but the case is that it was eventually dropped a week or two later, which stood out. Very interesting. Taylor here basically waxes forth on the FDA allowing 20% variance on nutritional labels, kind of weak sauce that all the case they can bring is a 10% drop. So kind of weak sauce in and of itself. But what Dan is saying on the backside is this could be totally made up. We operate exactly. We even have overages for what is supposed to be on there. And so we spend $100,000 per month on this stuff. There's nothing to it.
Unbelievable. This is so lame from the customer. My dad used to make fun of me when I started complaining about stuff or just like poking fun at other people. He would basically just be like, and he still does this today. If I get too into it, he would be like, Colin, just get a life, dude. Just get a life. And I say that to the person who is suing Dan. Just get a life. Focus on yourself. Dan's going to move through this, and he's going to be better because of it, honestly.
Get a life, go make money in some other way. Before we move forward to our next story, David Herrmann is meta tired. Before we move forward to our next story, let's talk about Postscript. Ladies and gentlemen, focus is an amazing thing, is it not? Yes, it is. When one focuses, you get outsized results, and that's what happens with Postscript. When people make the switch from doing 6 or 7 things all together jumbled up with their SMS marketing over to Postscript, who all they do all day, every day is SMS. They see an average 22% increase in SMS revenue. Okay. Now, why do they do that? Because all Postscript does is focus on making you more money with that channel. Actually, their number one goal is to make SMS your number one revenue generator. Now, I saw a whole lot more than that. We went from making very little money to being a top 1% account on their entire platform. And the secret was, what's the secret sauce, Chris? I just did what they said. And what they're saying right now is that there's a lot of money left on the table when people text you back. They ask you a question, you leave them on red, or even worse, you send them an auto email follow-up responder. Go to the conversational report, directtoconsumer.co/the conversational report. You're going to get the data that is now available to you via their AI shopper. What can happen if you actually engage with them in a one-to-one chat? I know you can't because you're too busy, but Postscript's AI shopper can. brand appropriate, brand knowledge, brand voice, all of the things. Send your monies up and to the right. Many thanks for Postscript being part of the show. Now, David Herrmann is tired. David Herrmann is tired, and understandable. He wasn't at Commerce Roundtable. We were. That's why we're tired. But David Herrmann is tired because Meta's been acting a fool. Meta's ad accounts, big problem this week. And we need to read what our boy David Herrmann released. This thing is going off this week, like many other weeks in 2026, 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022. Meta ads simply broke. Moment of silence for Meta ads simply breaking this week. You probably haven't heard a peep from Meta on it, but it's been brutal. We're talking turning ad accounts off brutal. Some of you were probably 100% immune. Others had no idea because your team suddenly tried shifting their creative or offers. Others work with agencies that probably said it and forgot it. Whatever it may be, I sound like a broken record here venting, but this just simply is becoming more and more unacceptable at the sheer level of these bugs. There feels like no recourse. Can I get an amen, Colin?
Amen.
No postmortems, no true apologies. Just simply break, then kill a brand's performance for around a week, get a small refund if you get one, then move on to the next time it breaks. I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. I know X is here to post about AI automations and how awesome I am. And you know what, David? You are awesome. But the reality is this week, much like many other weeks prior, I find myself being a therapist to CMOs and brand teams trying to figure out, is this a bug, a creative issue, or the business? More and more, it is a bug. I want Meta to be stable, but every year from February to May, it's just a mess. Very interesting that he points this out. I don't think I was aware of this. Every year from February to May, it's a mess. Okay, I'll take it. Do we simply just pull budget during Meta's annual bug season? Bug season, February to May. I'm out of answers personally, but on behalf of the brands that pay me to manage advertising across every ad platform, I'd like some answers from Meta because it's the only one plagued with these issues at this scale. Thoughts, Colin?
I've said this on the show multiple times. You need to diversify out your channels or you're going to die. Because if you keep over indexing on Meta, you're going to be totally tied to what is happening with these bugs. You need to start diversifying capital outside of just Meta alone. You need to jump into YouTube, AppLovin, all of these amazing platforms outside of Meta. Maybe dance around with OpenAI a little bit. I think we need to stop romanticizing Meta that it's going to come and save everything when it's not. And they don't really hear your responses a lot with the pushback that you're trying to make. They might sometimes, but there's other platforms out there that hear and listen to you a ton. We had a really great conversation with Phoenix earlier in the week, last week actually, about how TikTok is listening so much to consumers, both in the influencer and the brand space, and they're baking in all of this intentional feedback into the build of the product. When has Meta ever done that? Or when have you heard about Meta ever doing that? Absolutely never. Absolutely never. And I'm so tired of people just saying like, oh, let's dump everything into Meta, set it and forget it. You're going to get crushed. You're going to get absolutely fleeced. Your projections are going to be totally off. And you're going to be, standing there, pants down. You're going to be like, this sucks. Well, I guess I'll go back to Meta and lose more money.
I hear you, but it's a little harsh. Harsh, Colin. Harsh.
It's not. We cover so many stories about Meta constantly breaking. And I don't know how hard this thing has to break or how many refunds people don't get until they realize Meta is not paying attention to you. Meta is not listening to you. If you're a consumer brand, they are listening to the big boys, the big B2B boys. They're not listening to you. They do not care about you. So you need to diversify out of those channels or else you will get annihilated.
Okay. All right. Well, here, before I respond, let's bring some other voices into the convo here. Okay, let's bring some other voices into the convo. D2C Profit had this to say. I woke up to a message from my Facebook rep's boss saying that my rep wasn't actually right and saying there was an outage and that everything is Everything is okay.
This is what I'm talking about. Even Meta internally doesn't know what's going on. And you expect to over-index 90% of your budget into an organization that doesn't even, they aren't even on the same page.
Okay. We get it. It's hot. Okay, you're hot.
Hot.
Too much caffeine for you. Let's talk to Barry. Thanks, David. Ditto to all of this. Have you seen resolution on the Pixel issue last week? Seems like some stuff is still broken there. And then he's obviously tagging Brett Fish. Brett says it seems like there's still issues. It's difficult to figure out because the impacts are somewhat unique for each different account. There aren't universal symptoms across accounts. Barry told Brett that he wanted to jam on it. Brian Cano says it's always around this time of the year, every year without fail. Does anyone have more info on why February to May is bug season? I genuinely wonder why. I don't know. At first I've heard of it. I don't think I've noticed. I for sure haven't been managing budgets of this size across so many accounts as our boy David Herrmann. Interesting. Brian Cano totally agrees. Our boy Eric Van Holtz had customers texting me screenshots of ads that we never created going to landing pages that were 404'd. Fun times. David actually said same thing's happening for them. Meta replaced a creator's VO with random loud music and no VO. Anyway, here's what I will say, and I think this is to your point, Colin. Although you are coming down on this
Hot.
Quite hard.
Hot.
Dave does have this to say about AppLovin, and I do agree. There are good places to spend your money. AppLovin is my saving grace for all these bugs on Meta right now. To whom shall we go? If Meta shall break, to whom shall we go?
I got the answer.
You need to go to AppLovin. Things are actually doing really decent for a number of clients while Meta is down bad. I will say the point that you brought up, AppLovin's listening. AppLovin's listening. TikTok is listening. We just had Ryan Garrow from Logical Positions on the show, and he was talking about how he made a comment about their roadmap inside of TikTok. They had it fixed in 3 to 4 weeks. So Phoenix High was saying the same thing when she went to the TikTok summit here as of late. There are other places to put your money. I will say from my personal experience, I'm big on AppLovin. Big on AppLovin. Huge help when Meta is a roller coaster. My personal experience, you can get on AppLovin and you can find a way forward, not just retargeting. I know that you heard that. Oh, that's just Facebook retargeting. No, it's not. You can find brand new customers, never heard of you before, got plenty of dollars in their pocket, benefit your P&L, make it look ripe and healthy. AppLovin is definitely a place that I would advocate for sending some ad dollars over there.
Absolutely. I also will say I'm going to become the most cracked out Bing advertiser that you've ever seen on the planet.
That's what Garrow would recommend. Garrow would strongly recommend that.
Absolutely. I'm going to be the guy. You'd be like, who's the Bing guy? Who's the Bing guy? It's Colin. He's cracked at Bing.
Colin is cracked at Bing. Well, in addition to this, a little more meta news. Our boy Carrie Tweets at ComSlayer is deprecating a piece of their service because Meta accounts are getting banned for auto replies in the comments. Everybody needs to watch this out. I know that. What's the service? ManyChat, right? What's the service on ManyChat with Instagram? People with DM automations, auto replies to comments. There's a booger bear to watch out for there. You don't want to get caught up in this tar pit. Because if you do, it could be that your entire account goes away. This is from our boy over at CommSlayer, Carrie, doing everyone a big favor. As of today, CommSlayer's AI agent no longer replies to Facebook and Instagram comments. This covers all accounts. Why, Carrie? Meta has started going after accounts using AI to auto-reply to comments on their posts. We've seen bans on users of other tools, and today a CommSlayer user got their account restricted too. Crying emoji. Meta's notice cited their advertising standards on account integrity and listed automations that mimic human activity as an example of what they don't allow. We can't prove it was us, but automations that mimic human activity was cited on Meta's decision, and I'd rather pull the feature than roll the dice on your account. You know how hard it is to get that account back. Switching platforms won't help. Every tool uses the same Meta APIs, and Meta is going after AI replies regardless of which app sent them. I say again, Meta is going after AI replies regardless of which app sent them. We've tried to be extremely cautious from day one. Low reply rates, less than 40% of total comments, long random delays up to 20 minutes, tight rate limits on a number of comments being posted per hour. I think this is useful and we should cover it because there's been a lot of hubbub over, I don't know, call it the last 12, 18 months. Hey, your comments on your Facebook ads, load them babies up. You're going to get higher performance. Can you get in there and have an AI tool of some kind reply and get back and make it easy, etc. So I know that a lot of people are investing into this, but Zuck is cracking down, reading again, on AI commenting, and I'd rather pull the plug on the feature and lose some short-term MRR than risk your account. What to do instead? Turn on pre-generated AI drafts. Your team opens a comment. The draft is already there. They just hit send, AI agent to drafts, pre-generate drafts. This is actually, we've seen a number of times on other tools, wiser to just get something in draft first than to have the AI push it all the way through. What still works, AI agent on DMs, Instagram and Messenger, auto moderation, automatically hiding toxic comments, AI drafts on meta comments, still generated for manual review. What still works? Every other channel. Being able to enable AI agent on meta comments is now disabled on all accounts. We'll likely add a rogue mode later for accounts willing to take the risk once there's more information. But for now, we're giving Zuck what he wants. Comment if you think we should keep AI agent comments running. Happy to hear the counter argument. Your thoughts on this, Colin? I mean, would you risk it for the biscuit, or would you just turn this off and no, thank you, I'll keep my account no matter what?
You got to turn this off. You got to turn this off. You can't risk this, especially with an older, healthier account. You can't risk this at all. This is a nightmare scenario. Again, Meta not helping you really a ton here with trying to be an effective business owner and hindering you again with yet another ban of some sorts to your ad account. I will say you got to get somebody in there. You can't leave those comments unattended. They really do help your CPCs and CPMs if you're able to address all of those comments, if you're able to get folks in there to actually comment. Maybe you have friends, family who are willing to comment on your ads and talk about the product, but you really have to address this regardless. Now you just can't do it with AI anymore.
Do they really help though on your CPCs and your CPMs? Do they actually help?
Yeah, I mean, if you have an ad that has 100 comments on it compared to an ad that has 2, it's going to significantly be pushed, either also in the algorithm and also performance-wise.
I'd like to see some case made for this with data. I've heard it a lot, and it makes sense. It makes sense, more comments, more ads, I mean, more comments, more views, probably better performance. I mean, it makes sense. I'd just like to see like a data case made for it.
Yeah.
I think the pushback that is coming here from a number of various sources is that the platforms want people to actually be humans. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. They want actual humans to interact, be there, active on the platform. It's why you see all of these comments about, hey, when you're warming up your TikTok robot new account that's going to automate content to the future, infinity, self-learn, etc., forever, you got to wait for 30 days and just let it consume content. Let it scroll for you, and you can automate it consuming content and scrolling and liking and commenting, fill out your profile photo, etc. There's like so many examples of this across various platforms. And I think what they want is for you to actually be a human. I think that's what they want. The more actual humans that are there doing their thing, the better. And so I kind of feel, especially on the back of Ecom Fuel's report yesterday, that actually the people that have not gone in on AI are actually making more money this year. I know it's a limited group; it's not everybody, but I kind of feel like maybe we should just human max here and actually just manually do the thing and just chill on all the automated workflows. Like it's okay. The platforms, they're trying to ban automated AI to the nth degree for a reason. And it's kind of like taxes, you know, you just like follow the incentives, like do what they want. And, it's going to work out for you. You can follow the incentives, follow the actions that they want to take place. They don't want you doing all the automated AI things. And maybe, just maybe, it actually work out better, like it has for a lot of Ecom Fuel's trend report brands who have not gone in on AI yet. I just wonder if all of this is coming together, is just saying like, yeah, actually, maybe just be more human and like hire a human to be on there and do the comments instead of having, automated workflows to the nth degree. They don't want that. The platforms don't want that.
Chris, the only human I'm going to talk to every day is you. Everyone else is going to be AI bots, my Claude bots. I'm going to have 16 of them. They're all named, and they all have their own unique function.
No,
you're the only human.
That's not
Give me
you.
all the AI. Give me all the AI.
That's not you. But a very outstanding point yesterday, and I want you, Darian, to come on here and talk about it. A very fascinating point that inside of their group, the brands who we haven't changed anything, no AI, nothing. Those are the people who are making more money this year. And it's like everybody's got the same amount of employees, making about average, whatever. I mean, they're all the same in that chart. Where is that chart? We don't have it anymore. But I was looking at it again this morning. The brands who have not gone in on AI are making more money this year from their set. And so there might be something to it. Maybe we are. I do think, actually, for the first time, maybe we have been a little too fascinated with AI this and AI that. And, maybe we just need to work on using our brains to write good copy and make good ads and ship better products.
Can't have that, Chris, or else the global economy melts down. So AI everything, and let's rock and roll. Claude is running through my bloodstream. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Last story of this segment here. Walmart's Great Value private label rebrand. It is getting a facelift. Okay.
Yes.
Now, when I show you this graphic here, what does this remind you of when you look at it? What does it remind you of?
Food. A lot of food.
Well, of course. But any other brands, any other stores, when you're looking at the redesign, the rebrand itself, anything come to your mind?
Lowe's. Kind of feeling Lowe's vibes.
Lowe's?
Yeah,
no. Lowe's doesn't sell food. Well,
I know,
but I get it. It's the blue and the
branding,
white, right?
It's the blue and white. Yeah.
All right. Well, what I was hoping that you would draw out here is the conclusion that I came from. This is a targetification of Great Value, of the Great Value brand. Look at the polar bear. You see that cereal box in the right-hand corner? Very minimalist, flat, kind of cartoonish design. This looks like Target of 2012, of 2014. They have taken their products, let's fancy them up, make them feel a little nicer, a little more design to them, which I will say is a total departure from Walmart's strategy just 20 years ago. I remember having a class with one of the top execs. He was a marketing professor at the University of Texas, and he worked at Walmart corporate. And he talked about the time at the time they were battling. Oh, we've got the slightly more wealthy Target mom, and she goes to Target, and she feels so good and confident coming out of her car and showing off her Target bags and walking into the home, whereas the Walmart mom is like kind of hiding her bags and getting inside quickly. You know, she doesn't exactly want to advertise to everybody that she was at Walmart. But what he said was fascinating to me. They would purposefully design products inside of Walmart. They would purposefully design them to look cheaper, to look like they're less and lower quality. Why? Because when they did go the Target route, hey, let's fancy this up, maybe charge a little more, but we can make this look like it costs more than it really does. Let's go this direction, like with lamps, for example. What they found is that their Walmart buyers would buy the cheap looking version. They would buy it versus the fancier Target, kind of slightly more expensive, but looks like it's mid-century modern and could cost something, even though maybe it costs a couple bucks more. What they found is that it was the cheap looking lamp that was the hot seller inside of Walmart. So now fast forward 20 years later here, bring back the graphic, Jack. 20 years later here, they've had a total rebrand with great value. Okay. It is very Target-ified. And I want to read you the first sentence of this story. Okay. Just listen to this because it is a real departure from where they have been in the past. As more higher income shoppers flock to Walmart, okay, this is the first sentence, comes to us from Retail Brew. The retail giant is giving its flagship private label brand, Great Value, a comprehensive redesign with the goal of enhancing visibility and encouraging exploration. The packaging redesign will change the look and feel of 10,000 food and consumable products. According to the company, Great Value products can be found in 9 out of 10 households, and they are specifically targeting families and households of higher income, $100,000 plus per household, and it is a departure from where they have commonly sold from before. And I find this so fascinating because when I look at it, I think 2012 Target, and somehow they have managed to eat their way up the food chain into higher income households. And now they're going to totally change over the branding for their entire private line in order to match that and continue going upward in terms of who they sell to. Isn't this fascinating?
This is incredible. It's about time.
That's it. I thought
it's about time.
I thought
it's about time.
I thought there was more there. I thought there might be more there. I'm jazzed about this. I find this
you
so
should be
interesting.
Jazzed. You should be jazzed, but they're pretty late to the game on this. I mean, they should have updated this probably 3 or 4 years ago, and they really could have had an opportunity to kind of, sharp elbow out the Target mom shopper and start to really take after that, go after that type of shopper. Now they're late to the game. They should have done this 5 years ago. They're basically trying to go one-on-one, 1v1 with Target. I think it'll be totally fine. I think, high-income shoppers have absolutely no problem shopping at Walmart. Chris, you and I were in a Walmart together 3 days ago. And it was, Walmart's a staple of the American economy. You can get anything there. And so I totally love this. I totally agree with it, but they're so late to the game. They'll be fine, though.
It's a little late. Yeah, of course, they'll be fine. Yeah, of course.
They'll be fine. It's a massive behemoth, but they got a little lipstick today. They got a little lipstick today. It's like,
they got a little lipstick. I would definitely feel better about buying that Great Value cereal with the polar bear. I mean, I would definitely feel better about it. Why? Cool packaging.
Yeah, I want the Oreos now.
I'll take them.
I'll take the Oreos now.
It worked on me.
Yeah.
We have got the one and only Orlando Rios, founder of Raised by Coyotes, coming into the show. But before he does, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Are we talking about? No, we're talking about Siguno. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Siguno. Siguno is the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. What's that mean, Chris? It means your emails, your reviews, your banners, etc. It's all right there where you already work and play every day. This is email 3.0, okay? Your Shopify data and your email data are one. There's no more need to live in this sea of complexity of overinflated attribution, etc., coming from the partner, the big email partner you may be using now. No more need to live inside of that. Your Shopify data is your email data, and this is a big reason why Siguno won the 2024 Shopify Build App of the Year. Lean teams, big aspirations. Siguno was built for you. One-click automations, actual humans that can help you. Go to the link scrolling across the screen right now. Get their advanced Shopify segmentation playbook. They'll also give you a free trial. Test drive the platform for free. If you tell them Colin and I sent you, they'll probably extend that thing to 30 days. Many thanks for Siguno being part of the show. We are convinced that they bring incredible value for the mass majority of Shopify brands. More people need to get on their platform, test drive this thing. Simplicity is mastery. Get up and to the right. Many thanks for Siguno being part of the show. Now, we have the founder of what I would say is a relatively new brand that has significant performance and revenue behind them. They've been growing like a weed. I think last year they grew by like 56% D2C, as well as retailers now. Now they're eating up retailers. You can find their stuff in every honky tonk in Central Texas and beyond on a Saturday night. I am talking about the one and only Orlando Rios. Get in here, Orlando.
What's up, man?
Let's go.
What's up? I love the applause.
We're doing what we can to celebrate you, Orlando, because that's what you deserve, brother. Orlando, man, you were just at Commerce Roundtable. I don't think we got to hang out very much there, brother. What do you think? Give us your review. What'd you like Monday and Tuesday this week?
Yeah, I got to say hi to you for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was great, man. And I think I told you I don't usually like to go to those type of things. I'm just not that type of social guy, I guess. But it was great. I really loved everything about it that I experienced. I didn't get to go to day 2. I had a lot of stuff I had to come back to the office, take care of. But day 1 was awesome. A lot of really good insight. TikTok, now I have my foot on the gas where I want to get my TikTok going. So that was a big talk for the first day. Definitely got a lot out of it, even though I only got to go to 1 day.
That was the Frost Buddy talk, right? That was Brock. Is that right?
That was Frost Buddy. Yeah.
Brock's talk on Frost Buddy was great. Go ahead, Colin.
So unbelievable too, because I feel like we gave him feedback in Twitter basically to make more videos with him shirtless and jacked, because he's shirtless, tan, and jacked. And then he did, and then he reported a month later. He was like, "Actually, the views are way up." So
that was our idea.
That was our idea. What if I go shirtless and just average body? Is that?
I think you're good.
Some uptick.
Yeah, I think you're good.
It's going to work. It's going to work, Orlando. Man,
right,
Orlando,
work my confidence.
You are an OG in our space. Not everyone knows that you were there in the Onnit days prior to their being acquired for $1 gazillion. I think not many people even know that you still run an agency. Do you not, Orlando?
No, the agency's done. I'm all
agency's
done,
done,
baby.
Okay,
agency's done. I'm all coyotes now.
You're all right. You're all coyotes now.
Go.
Okay, man, if you would, I'd love it if you just give people some foundation of where you've arrived to in your career, because you do have a great kind of especially in the Austin, Texas area. You do have a great story of where you have come to today. I'd love people just to know some foundation on you, man, before we get on to what is going on with Raised by Coyotes this year.
For sure, I'll do a quick little rundown. So obviously, I've always been running businesses, making businesses since I was like 19 out of high school. Started with a magazine that was nationally distributed and hot topic across the country.
That's awesome.
That,
Rockabilly, is
that
that
was
right?
rockabilly, yeah. So that was my first run at business, and that turned into a music festival in Austin. And then I got what I call my first real job, which is a little bit funny, called Fleshlight here in Austin. So yeah, I was doing social media. I was doing social media like back in the when MySpace was still a platform
Yeah.
there. And then once 5 years went by there, and my mental health started to take a turn in that
Yeah.
industry, went down to Onnit, and one was one of the first basically 10 employees there working in marketing. So I got to
Incredible.
see that rocket ship climb from that small amount all the way to what it became. And spent about 5.5 years there before I took off and started my marketing agency, Dropkick Ads, and that did well for 5.5 years before AI killed everything. And then but luckily I started Coyotes, and so now it's been my daily for several years now, and yeah, we're on a rocket ship.
Man, it really does. It really does seem that way, Orlando. I can still remember I think I still remember that first tweet that you made. You know, you kind of launched, it seemed to me like you kind of launched things in stealth. And then I think coming out of Q4, it was either you had hit $1 million per year run rate inside of a year, or you had done $1 million inside of that first year. Am I remembering that correctly? I remember when you tweeted that because I was like, that is what I want to do. I want to be like Orlando. I want to launch something in stealth and then run it up and then announce, hey, we're here. Like, we're on the board and we're running this thing to the moon. Am I remembering that correctly? Was that 2023, 2022, something like that?
It was I think it was 2023 where we did our first over a million in a year. So yeah, we had 2022 was kind of a partial year, but 23, yeah, we hit our first million in that first year. So um, and we didn't even touch like really wholesale yet at that point. So yeah, it's been good.
That's incredible, man. That's incredible.
Orlando, in that same year, that was the last time that I saw you in person, and it was at a Austin FC soccer game. We were in the box
That's right.
together, and I
That's
remember
right.
specifically you coming up to me, and we were talking, and you just go, "Gosh, apparel's a hard game. Has it gotten any easier since then?" Since no,
No,
it's still hard.
no,
In what way?
absolutely not. Oh, which way do you want to talk about?
Whichever way you'd like.
Well, the apparel game, it's difficult. I mean, starting from just even the design of apparel, when you go into cut and sew, when you're not just screen printing on pre-made t-shirts, anything can go wrong and will go wrong, from your side of the tech pack side to the manufacturing side. And then you get into shipping and logistics. That's a
Oh,
nightmare on its own. Uh, and then you get into government intervention like
Oh yeah.
tariffs.
Oh
oh,
yeah.
That's enough. That's I think you've probably seen enough tweets of me, yelling about tariffs. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and you get into that too. So there's curveballs that come at every direction in
yeah.
apparel. And like I said, if it's not the manufacturing, it could be the shipping, it could be out of nowhere additional tax that just kill your margins. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong.
For sure.
Orlando, have you availed yourself to any tariff refunds as of yet? As of yet, I've heard that the thing went live just this week. I think it was. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cape platform went live on Monday, and actually, I was at at the Commerce Roundtable
Yeah, you were
during
there.
during
We
his
were there
time.
together.
I had my laptop up, and I was refreshing that page as fast as
Let's
I could,
go.
so I can upload my CSV and get my shot at getting some refunds. We'll see if they actually come back. So yeah, this is the phase one part of the tariff refunds. There's supposed to be a phase two, and it kind of depends on what date your shipments went out. So hopefully there's a phase two, but so the phase one part will have some relief for sure.
Yeah, man, I was very concerned for a significant amount of time. Of course, we talked with Stephen Borelli, who
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
famously during all of the tariff conversation was tweeting it and getting access to the administration and saying like, hey, how this could affect small businesses like Cuts, like Raised by Coyotes, et cetera, and how this may not be the path forward that we ultimately want, especially for e-commerce. So I'm happy to see that there's some refunds coming, and hopefully there are more to come as well. Man, tell us what has been going on with Raised by Coyotes since we last talked. It's been so long, but when I was on your website recently, man, I saw the mesquite camo pattern. Man, that thing looks juicy to me. I've seen that you've done more with your shirts. I know the polos were crushing last time we talked, but man, you've continued to expand products. Have you found that enlarging your category in that way is also, juiced LTV, giving more people more opportunities to come and buy from you? I think if I'm correct, I think one of your tweets said that you guys grew over 50% last year D2C. That's not even including what was happening on the retail side, on the wholesale side. Is that
Let's
right?
go.
Sure, yeah. And I've told you this before, like I'm a golfer. So we actually started as I wanted this to be a golf company. and,
Yeah.
so, and so we started I've always I'm from South Texas. I grew up literally across the street from the King Ranch. So
Exactly.
like I've always wanted some like Western vibe golf apparel. And this is way back, way back when there was only like maybe like Bad Birdie, Pins and Aces, and a few other ones. And so we were doing fine there. But when we launched the Pearl Snaps, when we came on with our Pearl Snaps, there wasn't any Pearl Snap companies doing these loud designs yet. And so we kind of came out of nowhere with that. And that was kind of a huge catalyst for us to expand and offer something different in the marketplace. Um, and start getting us into those retail wholesale Western wear shops where we weren't probably possible to be in the first place. Um, of course, now all the big Pearl Snap brands are now starting to do all these patterns and designs. But so now we're going the opposite direction, where a lot of those big brands like a Poncho or something started off with solids and
Yeah.
stripes, and then went into the patterns. Now we're going in reverse, and now we're going to start offering our solids and all that kind of stuff. And these are launching here very soon. Like the one that I'm wearing, except that'll be the logo will be incognitoed.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, we have a bunch of wholesale orders already waiting for our solids now. So yeah, and we're getting into new
Incredible,
fabric
man.
types now with the polos. We're
Oh,
doing cotton performance blends,
Let's
which
go.
are so
oh,
amazing and soft and lovely. And so yeah, we're kind of just expanding the line. That's one huge thing that I made a big push for the last towards this season is we need to expand our line. It's time. Our wholesalers are asking for it. So that's you're gonna start seeing a bunch of t-shirts and polos, new Pearl Snap types, all sorts of stuff coming out here.
incredible, man. That's exciting.
Orlando, if I'm a seven-figure business owner and I'm seeing your tweet that, hey, I grew 50%, what advice do you have for me? I also want to grow 50%. I want to do those big numbers. Is it that product expansion? What is it where you would talk to me and basically give me this advice of, hey, you need to keep the path, but these are a couple things you should really be doing that kind of accelerated that 50% growth. And this was the lion's share of those activities.
Yeah, a couple of things. One, double down on what's working for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and especially in apparel, this is kind of a yin yang kind of response on this is like expanding your line can be detrimental, but it could
Yeah.
also be a plus. And so, yes, you have to take risks, but you have to take calculated risks. And that's kind of what we've done. One of the there's two huge key things that I did differently. So I keep our overhead very, very small. I do a lot.
Nice.
I do our site, I do our marketing, I do a lot.
Let's go,
Um,
baby.
yeah. There's two big key things that we did that helped us grow. Number one, I got us a wholesale manager who
Nice.
is already in the game. I hired a guy. I literally went and flew. He didn't know I was coming. I went and flew to Dallas from Austin. Yes, I could have just drove, I know. But I flew there and I went and found him. And he already had a whole network of retailers
Wow.
because he's a boot rep. And so he's been repping boots his entire career. And so I
Yeah.
went and found him. I went over there and said, "Hey, I'm Orlando. I know you've purchased from us before. I want you to rep our brand." And he came on, and overnight, literally, our wholesale jumped like
Let's
crazy.
go.
And so,
I
yeah,
love this.
yeah. So that was a huge move. Also, getting a fractional CFO was a big
Yeah.
deal instead of me just doing all the financials, and that gave me a roadmap to actually understand what we could afford to experiment on while not giving up on what's working. And so that's what we've done. Just those two things, getting better at the financial aspect of things instead of just gut checking it,
Yeah.
and then finding the right people that can have an instant impact in the company.
That's
Incredible,
amazing.
man.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It sounds to me, Orlando, like you have continued to keep your hand on what you know best and what you're strong at. And then you found incredible partners to come in and bring up, build up, and grow areas where maybe you had less knowledge or no knowledge or were weaker in. And I think every founder has to crack this, has to find a
Yeah.
way to do it in order to grow. And man, it's paid off. It's paid off in dividends for you. And I'd love to know more about this wholesale piece. I mean, it sounds like you found a gem. You found a diamond there, and you went and sold him on you, like every good founder must do. But man, what do things look like? I mean, where can I find you across the country? I mean, where can people walk in today and go and buy Raised by Coyotes? If they walk in and are looking for you, and where are you going to be coming soon?
Yeah, right now we're in just over 100 stores now.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Mostly Texas, obviously, right? Which if you're going to be mostly in one state, this is the state you want to be in.
This is it.
But yeah, we're expanding. I mean, we're in clubs in like Nebraska and Missouri and Montana.
Crazy, man.
California. Like, yeah. We're in a lot of like independently owned Western stores.
It's awesome.
We're not in any giant big chains yet, and honestly, I'm not sure if I want that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negatives to being in some of these big chains. So across that hurdle when we get there. But one of the cool things is I feel like my life's coming around full circle. As I told you, I grew up in Kingsville, Texas, just like next to the King Ranch.
Yeah.
We're in a lot of these like feed stores.
Let's go, baby.
So,
Back to your roots.
Back to the roots, man. And so, like, you can go get your horse feed and then also get you a nice Coyote shirt at the same time. And so we're in all these small little chains and stuff, but these like smaller little chains like of feed stores and all that kind of stuff, and smaller little Western wear chains and stuff like. But we're not in the big Cavenders or anything like that yet. But then at the same time, we're also in golf courses, and so we're probably guaranteed the only brand that puts pearl snaps in country clubs.
All right, baby. All right. Well, I like that, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing how you've threaded this needle. Started as a golf brand. Man, you cracked with the entire country Western honky tonk crowd, and now you've continued to thread this needle and make apparel that man, that both of these crowds love, both the golf player and the honky tonk goer. And man, I find it so interesting how you have managed to do this and continue to do it. And to me, the apparel speaks for itself. Of course, it should be sold. It should be the only Pearl Snap brand in country clubs across the country, in addition to the feed stores around Kingsville, Texas. That's awesome, man. I love it. I love it.
I love
Yeah,
that.
and like I think what makes us really, really stand out is every single like print design that we have. It's not just like, oh, let's just throw a cactus and a horse up there and call it Western, right? That's not
Yeah.
what we do here. We think really, really hard. Everything has a connection. Like our best sellers is our pearl snap called the Javelina Paradise. Well, why? Why do we have that? Well, what's the mascot of Texas A&M Kingsville University? It's the javelina. It's something I grew up around. I wanted to have this incorporated, and boom, cracked. And now we sell javelina paradises across South Texas like crazy because everybody
That's
goes to Texas A&M
awesome.
Kingsville. And
That's
so,
awesome.
we think about all those little things and like culture and all that kind of stuff. And one of our biggest sellers late last year was one of our shirts called the Possum Kingdom. It has pearl snaps and it's a pearl snap with possums all over it. Nobody else is gonna make this. But why did we do that? One of my favorite bands of all time is the Toadies.
Yeah, there we go.
From the 90s.
Yeah,
and number
exactly.
two, there's actually a lake in Texas called Possum Kingdom.
Yeah, for sure.
Mix those two together, we got a pearl snap and it sell like crazy.
That's amazing,
man.
That's awesome.
You know your audience, and the business is proving that out, man. Orlando, brother, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. We're going to be following along, and I hope to stop by my local feed store here outside of undisclosed location. And see you there really soon, brother. We love what you do and appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Orlando Rios.
An OG in the space, an absolute OG in the space that deserves all the success that he has. He is a true one of one. And also, by the way, he's an incredible guy. I'm going to say that aside from the brand.
He's a great guy. He
just
is
a great
absolutely. And what he has done, making the transition from agency owner to brand builder, there's so many that want to do that. And he's done it. He's done it. He's doing it lean. He's doing it lean and mean. And man, he's carved out a very real significant niche for himself inside of the Western world for sure. Raised by Coyotes.
Chris, I also updated the Run of Show with some breaking news that broke 5 minutes ago for maybe our next story that we should cover.
Oh yeah, let's hit it now. Let's hit it now before Kip comes.
Let's hit it now.
This is from the Kobayashi letter. Is that right?
That's
Meta
correct.
tells its staff that it's laying off 10% of its employees in a push for efficiency. You just want to bag on Meta more. I think
bag on them more, dude.
I think you just want to bag on him more. Jack, can you bring this up? I don't know if you can, but I will read it. If nothing else, the Kobayashi letter breaking Meta. Hashtag Meta tells its staff that it's laying off 10% of its employees in a push for efficiency. This is roughly 8,000 employees who will be laid off. You know, at first I was like, oh, 10%. I mean, that's not that much. That's 8,000 people. Wow.
Chris, what was the story that we covered Thursday with Meta?
I don't remember.
It was the tracking. And I said to you in that, I said, this is just going to be a guys for their next layoff. They're going to say, hey, this is going to be efficiencies. We found them. This is going to be the next layoff. This is a called shot on the show coming to fruition.
Okay. Well, you know, let's give that to you. Let's give that to you. You deserve the call shot. But you know, sometimes software companies just do this. I mean, it's like a kind of a regular deal. I mean, is this not the normal time for you know, a few intermittent layoffs, as serious as much as they are? Is this not you know, just kind of in the usual programming for a large dominating hugely successful software business?
10% is a lot. That's a
10% is a lot.
Big chunk of a company. I mean, 8,000 people. That's a big chunk of total org. And I don't know. I don't think this is just, hey, this is the standard. We're gonna get rid of a few people today. This is a pretty significant amount and could be the reason for some of these bugs that we're seeing. Maybe some.
That's a great point, actually. That's a great point.
So maybe some upset Meta employees out the door are like, nah, I'm actually gonna not push that to product. Okay, bye. See you later.
Yeah, maybe we need to hire more employees. Maybe we need to hire more and get in there and fix that ads manager.
There you go.
I bet David Herrmann would call for that.
Yeah.
He is meta tired and mega tired. Yeah. It is interesting that this comes on the back of their like copying and tracking all of the keys and the keystrokes and all of that. It is interesting.
Connecting the dots.
It is interesting. Here's my question. Does this mean stock goes up? Recent trends would say yes. Can you look at the meta stock and see if this goes up?
They didn't say because of AI, so I don't know. Stock down 2% today.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's because of AI.
But they said efficiency. I would figure that meant AI.
They should have said AI efficiency.
If they would have said AI efficiency, that means stock goes up.
Yeah.
Well, very interesting breaking news to be had here, and not the news that media buyers everywhere want to hear. I think they want informed, adept reps to take their complaints, run it up the flagpole, and get whatever bugs are going on inside of the ads manager fixed. So pour one out for our boys, David Herrmann being hot and many others. Pour one out for the media buyers, but we must continue. There's still money to be made on the internet today. And good news is that we're bringing somebody in here who has been making money, at least as of late, without necessary ad spend that many of us are accustomed to. He's the founder of the Lounge Edit. He's got a live selling academy, and he's gone from zero to I think probably $400,000 revenue generated on Whatnot. Again, listen to the name, Whatnot. If you have not heard it yet, you need to wake up. This guy's doing $1,000 and more every hour. He is on the phone, and he's going to give us his playbook, his story, what he's been doing, and what is the path forward for the internet ecom 4.0. I'm talking about the one and only Kip Roland. Kip, get inside the show, sir. We want you in here. There he is. Woo!
Oh. I came to rock it. I don't know. I had to. Actually, no. It's my grandpa's. This is my look. This is always my look.
It's very fitting. It's very fitting, Kip.
Disregard the tag that is on the back.
Oh, look at a lot of people from Texas just consider Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas. It's just kind of like cousins anyway. Okay. And so I think the cowboy hat is very fitting, and it's a good look on you.
Appreciate that.
You could cut the tags later, but it's up to you. Up to you. And Kip, I recently discovered you on Twitter, now called X. And man, your story is compelling to me. My understanding is, man, you're an Amazon reseller. Your account gets shut down inexplicably. No description, no way to revive it. And basically you're like left in a lurch. And I think it got shut down for like 180 days or something like that. 6 months, kind of crazy. Man, give us background on what happened and how you got pushed into live selling, getting on Whatnot, and I would suppose now TikTok auctions, things like that. Give us the background on how you got here, brother.
Yeah, of course. It's it definitely is exactly as you describe. I wake up one day and my wife's due like February 13th or something. I wake up February 1st and there's an account violation. We had done $1.7 million in revenue on Amazon in 2024. And you wake up 2025 and they're like, can't sell anymore. So, and that's kind of, you run the risk, right? If you're an Amazon seller, you run that risk. Unfortunately, it was a lot of technical issues of things that I could have avoided it if I had deleted the right thing, and just very technical issues. And yeah, it ended up costing me probably $50,000 to $80,000 in inventory that's lost, and yeah. So son's about to be born. First son's about to be born. I got to make money for the family, and I talked to some people, some of my suppliers, about like, well, what's next? What should I be doing? And they bring up Whatnot, and I thought, I mean, what do you think about Whatnot, right? Like, before you heard of it, you're like, no.
Yeah,
nobody's buying stuff like this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, backs against the wall, you got to do what you got to do. So we went live, and that first week was pretty crazy. And I saw the potential. Like, it just clicked. It just clicks. Once you go live once, it clicks with you. You understand it. And since then, it's been over 14 months now. And yeah, we're going heavy on TikTok the past 90 days. And I really like that opportunity as well.
And go ahead, Kyle.
Well, Kip, if I'm on Whatnot, how am I a successful seller on Whatnot? What do I need to be doing? You just said, hey, you have to go live one time. What did that first time tell you? And then how am I going to be successful if I need to go online and am I doing the TikTok dances? What am I doing? How do I get people entertained? I can do the TikTok dances if you want me to, but tell me how to do it.
Fortunately, we don't have to do any TikTok dancing. You don't have to. You don't have to. Okay. I mean, it seems like you kind of want to. You probably could.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
No, but it's entertainment mixed with shopping. And so if you have a good product mix, most of it is liquidation. Most of it's customer returns or overstocks that people are selling. And so if you have a good mix of overstock, liquidation, customer return, whatever it may be, and you're entertaining and you can relate with your audience, that's the mix right there. Some people have a little bit more than others. Some people have a little bit more entertainment than others, but that's the mix.
So Kip, you've what it sounds like, you had established relationships with suppliers, because of what you were doing, reselling on Amazon, and Amazon gets shut down. Now you're talking with them. They're saying, well, why don't you try this on Whatnot? And, I mean, similar product or maybe slightly different, but you're taking liquidation products, you're going live there. Everybody's looking for a deal. I mean, my first experience with the platform, I'm seeing Pokemon cards, I'm seeing some apparel. I just kind of, at first thought, I just thought like, this is kind of like really niche, probably wouldn't work for everything. But the more that more time I've spent on there, and the more people I see succeeding, man, there's people selling food, there's people selling snacks. We've had John Roman of Battle Box, very successful D2C business, and it's Whatnot has now become their #2 revenue generator as far as channel is concerned. That's not cannibalizing their .com sales. Here, you looking it up right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at
Battle Box. BATTL, no E, BOX, battlebox.com. I think they got 55,000 followers on Whatnot or something like this.
Wow.
And it has surpassed Amazon for them. Wow. And so I am now fully bullish. I'm fully bullish. Not only is this the path for creators, wise resellers, small businesses, I'm fully convinced that there's a path here for the typical D2C brand that's dumping money into Facebook to infinity. I'm convinced there's a path here. But man, there's got to be some kind of playbook to this. I would imagine, let's say I get on there tonight, I would imagine I'm probably going to be live selling to an empty room if I don't do a few things right. I mean, and brother, I've heard you started with appliances and did sold everything in that first session. I mean, how did that happen? How'd you actually get people in there and sell out your inventory?
Yeah. Well, that's the main question. How do I get more people in my room? And it's it's a nuanced topic. It's like, you got to be consistent, obviously. More consistent. People can only find you while you're live. And so if you're not live, people aren't going to find you. Whenever we first did that show and had success, I think we had a big advantage to entering a category that wasn't really fleshed out yet on Whatnot. We're one of the only sellers at that time selling that stuff. And so if people were interested in that category, they were going to land on our page and find us. If you join now and try to sell fashion, there's a lot of saturation in that category. Okay. That's not to say you can't have success. It's just going to take a little bit more time, and you have to find more. You have to differentiate yourself more than just, oh, I'm a person who sells stuff. And that's what we teach in our live selling academy. Is like, don't be a person who just sells stuff. It's live shopping. Like you can do more than just be a person who sells stuff. And so what you're talking about in the brands is super interesting to me as well. Like, how can brands use this platform? How can brands use live selling, live auctions specifically? I think that's super exciting going in like the next year, couple of years.
Well, we covered a story on the show yesterday of a kid who basically would do half-court shots live on Whatnot.
That was from Kip.
I actually watched that the other day.
Kip. That was from Kip.
Yeah, that was directly from you. And do you have any other niches where you're like, hey, I don't have the bandwidth to execute on this, but I wish I was this kid that was shooting half-court shots? Part of me was like, that sounds so fun. Like, I would just be like, yeah, you want me to shoot half-court shots and I'll film it? I'm down. Is there any niches where you're thinking like, hey, if you got an extra couple hours and you want to mess around with it, maybe it's not brand stuff. This would be a great little avenue to go down.
Oh man, I think about that stuff all the time, but I can't come up with anything off the top of my head because it's an idea like that. You would have never thought about it.
Yeah.
But it hits. It hits. When you see it, it hits. Like today I saw, and I don't know if this is like even legal, but it's a stream from prison.
Oh,
and
it was I saw prison. This.
Yeah.
I saw this too.
And it was just on TikTok, so they weren't actually selling anything. It's more like entertainment, and then people can give you tips and stuff. But it's like, I would have never thought about that, but I watched it for like 4 minutes because I'm like, what is prison like?
Yeah.
What is it like at this exact moment in time? Let me find out.
Unbelievable that you tuned into my stream as well. I appreciate you.
That wasn't your stream.
From behind bars. I appreciate that. That's unbelievable. I don't even know how they get the phone in jail. I mean, just unbelievable. Just the depth and the diversity on Whatnot is unbelievable. We're so enthralled by it.
Yeah, I saw some koi fish sellers the other day, and
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen that one. That's sense. Unbelievable. Yeah,
it's funny to me. It's funny to me. Like, we had Braden Flack on here. I think you know Braden, and essentially what he said is like, you think people won't buy that? They will buy that, whatever that is. You think people won't buy it? They will buy it. There is a market for it. And Kip, I think that there's several things at play here. Like you mentioned, there's entertainment, there is getting a deal, there's like scarcity, there's a time element tied to it. And then there's the auction process. And it just seems to like, in my mind, it tingles the American brain in all the right ways. We all want to be entertained. We all want to shop for entertainment. We all want to get a deal. And it's like, now I'm typing in and I'm getting that thing.
Yeah.
Braden seemed to have, Braden described, this kind of way of like stacking offers, when he's selling bars, and then at a certain point, if he gets to a certain dollar amount, he's going to add 4 more on top. And have you seen any success with kind of creating unique offers or doing giveaways or something like that keeps people plugged in and coming back to you and tied into the stream?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a cultural thing. You need to have your audience tapped into you for more than just the products you have. And so what we try to implement is like 20% of our live shows are special for a certain reason, whatever that reason may be. And so we tell them, hey, next weekend we're doing XYZ. It could be a big giveaway. It could be a specific lot of products we never do. It could be mystery box type things, whatever it may be. But you have to think about it like a TV show. Like, why should I tune in next episode? Why should I tune in next episode? And so we think about that a lot. In terms of what you're saying, like where it just tingles the American brain,
Yeah.
I think about this a lot too, is like, why does this work and where is this going? Because people are spending money on live auctions. Are they not spending money at full price places? Like is ads, CAC going to go up? Is like, what is going to happen? And I think that the auction format, it removes the customer's decision to purchase. If you started at $1 and it's $100 item, the question is not, should I buy it? It's what am I willing to pay for it?
Yeah.
Like, and everybody has an answer for that. Like it could be $2 or it could be somebody's answer is $50. And so that decision to purchase is gone. And now the question is, what am I willing to spend on it? And whenever you start everything at $1, sometimes you obviously lose your shorts, but a lot of times you're surprised at, this item went up like crazy and this one didn't, but you get an understanding of the consumer psychology and like, they may not have wanted this, but they are willing to spend X on it.
They got it.
That's unbelievable. I mean, we had folks on the show and I kind of pitched this back to them where I think there's an agency model here where basically you become the Billy Mays, and then you go out to brands and you say, hey, I'm going to be your Billy Mays on whatnot. And you have a portfolio of, 8 to 10 brands underneath of you. Have you seen anybody successfully do that? Or have you seen anyone thinking about that? Because I've kind of tried to bake out that thought process, and I don't know if it's going to hit or not.
Well, I've thought about it a lot because all you need is your phone. And if you have your audience, you can tap into your audience. So you can travel around with your phone and tap into your audience. I have seen people who do a lot of consignment. And so that's part of it, right? It's like, hey, they have the audience. Let me bring my item to them and they consign it and sell it. So I think that's kind of as far as we've gone on that direction. I definitely think you're right. I think in the next 6 months, there will be something like that. Or some of these big sellers will realize, hey, I don't want to have inventory costs anymore, but I still have my amazing audience. So let me leverage that.
I would dig, Kip, like let's say, well, let me ask you, how many followers do you have on Whatnot?
40,000. Then we have like 8,000 on TikTok.
Crazy. You know what I would love? I would love to see some brand that for whatever reason, they got a bunch of dead inventory. When I was at Bruce Bolt, which is a small baseball brand, but there's always a significant amount of like factory defects or stuff that got returned. There's always a significant amount of that. And whenever we would do a sale on that, it's like the only time we would discount stuff. I mean, brother, it would move like hotcakes. And one time we did one in person and we had a giant sale in Austin for multiple days. And we had thousands of people come through. I mean, it was a sight to behold. We had people standing out in the rain, waiting outside so that they could get a deal. And I'd love to see a brand bring a particular creator like you or somebody else, bring them into their warehouse and say, we are partnering together to do an exclusive, unique, live selling liquidation event. And we're just moving these things.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think that would be incredible?
100%. Yes, 100%. I've been trying to approach some brands with that exact philosophy or just that pitch of like, how can we work together? Is it once a month sales that we do with you? Is it, I just teach you how to do it and then you do it yourself? Like, that would be so much fun. I would love that. Cause again, all I need to do is travel to the location and use my phone. Not even my phone. You can use anybody's phone.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. I mean, Chris and I had a dinner in Austin, Texas a couple of days ago, and we brought up the question. There was $1 billion in ad spend in that room alone of 35 people. They've spent over $1 billion in their career. We brought up the question, hey, does anyone in this room know what Whatnot is? Maybe 2 people meagerly put up their hands, just barely. Are you finding that is the case when you're approaching brands where they don't even know what this is yet? Or is it starting to skew like, maybe 10% of brands are starting to find out? Or, it's kind of more 50%. Like we're starting to hit our stride with it. It's starting to become mainstream.
Yeah, no, definitely most of them don't understand. And it's number one, an education lift, right? Like that. And then they log into the app and they don't get the vision, which is fair.
Yeah.
And then secondly, we're typically targeting, like you're saying, those liquidations or, that dead inventory. They already have, it's either they're like not their problem because they work in a different department, or it's like, it's just, they already have solutions for it. Like we already have a broker who buys it. We already do this. We already do that. Like they want more recovery and they want it gone faster. And so it's like, can we do that? I think so. Which never really been done before. Like, let's try it out. So those are the two things that people want: more recovery and gone faster. And then they're like, yeah, whatnot, I guess, fine, or live auctions, fine. But
here's like the piece that I don't like about those solutions that you just described that they, have given you. It's like, oh, we got a broker or whatever.
Yeah.
Where's the entertainment in that? Where is the entertainment?
We talk about too, you acquire a customer when you do it, because they probably have never heard of you. And so you acquire a customer at a low, like at recovery, like you're technically getting paid to acquire a customer. And we can do order inserts in all your orders and say like, hey, here's 15% off to shop their full price. And you can track and see, okay, did it actually acquire customers? And you could do that sort of thing. So yeah, I think it's cool.
This is, I think, an underrated piece that, everybody's been like Amazon brained, where they know, oh, I can't slip anything in. I can't slip anything in. I don't get any information. But what you just described, Kip, is like, no. We're putting stuff in those orders. We're bringing them back to, .com or whatever. Sign up for my newsletter, all those kind of things. Man, I think this is a highly underrated piece of this entire ecosystem.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because you make a sale every 30 seconds or you make a sale every 10 seconds. And so you're guaranteed to get these things in the hands of customers. It might be a low price, but like, they are a customer. They paid you money for something. And now you get to hopefully acquire them at a higher value later. Like, so you have a lot of customers. I mean, we can ship out 1,000 items a day with like just a few hour shows. So it's real.
Wow.
Gosh.
Man.
This reminds me so much of our conversation with Matt at Tidal Wave 3PL. It would be so interesting if a guy like you approaches a 3PL that has multiple brands underneath of them, and that becomes part of that 3PL offering. And the whole thing is right there. It's fulfilled, shipped out, and you're in that 3PL live, rocking and rolling.
That's
hopefully doing some TikTok dancing, and I'm emphasizing the TikTok
You're into
dancing.
that. I like it.
He's into that. He is.
But I just see this as such a value add, because I will say this. I think, Chris, you can attest to this. Most brands are very afraid to be on camera and do this kind of stuff live. That's just from what I've seen. That is the big fear, and if you're able to move through that, gosh, I think there's a whole heck of a lot of money for you.
Well, I mean, tell me what you think, Kip. And I'm sure that you've run into this with individual sellers, people that are coming into your academy, wanting to learn from you, man, wanting to show me how to do this thing. What I've found is that there are a lot of marketers kind of in traditional e-com, what. They've done a lot of things, a lot of great accomplishments. Man, they can impress you to the max, put together a deck, spreadsheet, all of the things. But then you tell them, hey, I'm going to turn on this camera. You're going to be talking to people live, and you have to make this widget. You have to get dollars out of their pocket and into yours by selling this widget. And it's like, oh God, what am I going to do? Is anybody going to come and they feel like, man, I'm back in junior high at the school dance and I don't know what to say or who to talk to. I mean, have you found this kind of like, this kind of limitations, like, oh gosh, what do I say? What do I do? Do you help people get over that?
I feel like they stop before they even get there. I think that they see the app and they don't think it's for them. They see like individual sellers selling stuff, and like, my brand won't play there, or that's the approach to it, is just, oh, our brand's not made for that, or like, that's not for us. And so like, I think that education lift is super big. I think if you pitch them if they get over that hump, then I'm sure they'll probably have that issue too. Like, they're just too nervous, or like, what if it doesn't work? I mean, every seller has it. It's like, what if I go live and it sucks? And that happens.
Is that, I mean, I feel like that's bound to happen, right, Kip?
Oh, it's pretty demoralizing. Yeah. You just got to get through it. I mean, you got to have bad shows to have good shows, just like everything else. But it's like, it's demoralizing because you start off every stream, even like at our following, and like, we know we will have success pretty much every show, but it's just like, this one might go bad. You're kind of reluctant to hit start. And then when you do, usually you're quickly lifted by the audience and making money and making sales. That's the main thing. It's like, once you make a sale, you're like, okay, this is fun. But if you don't make the sale and nobody's in there, it's really demoralizing. It's you have to get over that hump. Like, it's a revolving door of viewers. And so the fact that, or just the idea that the first 30 people in there are going to be interested in what you have and make a purchase and like you is just not realistic. Like, you have to go through that revolving door of people a lot in order to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people stick. So you have to be okay with that. And that's just the reality of it. Once you build up that audience, then you have recurring customers who like you, they know what to expect. And it, the algorithm pushes you to people like that and things like that. So, but that at the beginning, it takes a lot to get 10 people. It takes a lot to get 20 people, and you have to be okay with, egg on your face. So
I think this is I don't know. I think this is just like an underrated piece of this, that it's sweaty, and like the obstacle is the way. And because there's a lot of, oh gosh, like this is going to be hard. It's really demoralizing. What are people going to think? Am I embarrassing myself? It's like, if you're willing to get through that, then that in itself is a significant win, and you will be ahead of a lot of other people. But I would think, Kip, there's got to be, and playbooks to this helps on this, man. Tell people and where they can. I know you've got this live seller academy, and tell people like where to find it, what happens there, and give us the whole spiel on that, because I think you've laid out some tracks for people to get through all of those initial experiences.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And you're absolutely right. It is like the obstacle is the way. That's a great way to put it. And so we created liveselling.academy. That's where you can find it, liveselling.academy. And so we talk about Whatnot, and we also talk about TikTok. And there's going to be a lot of people who don't even know how to start. They don't even know what Whatnot is. They don't even know really what TikTok is sometimes. And so we have guides for both of those on this is how to do it. Like literally what buttons you should push, what products do best, what to expect when you have 10 people, all those things, like literally just the what to do. And then we do weekly workshops on how to have success. Okay, now you understand the fundamentals. It's more nuanced at that point to how you have success. If you're more entertainment focused, that could be your direction. If you sell different categories, it's going to be different than everybody, because at the end of the day, live selling is just a channel. It's not like, oh, do these 3 things and you're going to win. It's not like Amazon where, oh, have the lowest price and pay the most money from the PPC and all the, and you're going to win. So there's no formula in that way, but it's, hey, here's how the platform works. Here's how, and then here's how you can have success. And here's how I think you can have success. Here's our failures. Here's our journey. And so we have 240 people in there. I looked this morning, 240
Awesome.
people. And a lot of people in TikTok, a lot of people in Whatnot, women's fashion, electronics, food. I think Braden's in there. He's a lot of help in there.
There we go.
And so that's, it's a community at that point that is just like, hey, I want to try this category. Anybody know anything about it? And then people chime in. And so again, that's liveselling.academy. And it's a lot of fun in there.
Well, we love it, Kip. I think BattleBox is the proof case that Whatnot, TikTok auctions, live selling is not just for all of the experiences and successes that, man, we've been seeing, that you've been describing. I think there's also a totally new category that I think you are going to be able to bring your knowledge to and help D2C brands across the interwebs win.
I love that. No, I would love that. I appreciate this. This is fun. Great ideas too. That 3PL ideas is good.
That would be interesting. It would. That would be really interesting. Well, Kip, man, we appreciate you making the time and joining us. We look forward to having you back, brother. Thank you, man.
Of course. Thanks, Chris, Colin. Thank you, guys.
Baller. I think he's a Arkansas Razorback, and good people.
That's amazing. Yeah, good people. I love the fact that he said you have to have some. Basically, you have to have some bad lives in order to have some good lives. Yeah. And I think that's really great, because I think a lot of media buyers are so accustomed to, okay, like let's have the perfect ad. Let's make sure that's amazing. Let's make sure, we're only focused on all of the wins and reporting about all the wins, and where sometimes just going live, you might not have a good show, but you get even closer to, we're going to have a great show. Or we're going to have that breakout show, or we're going to have a fantastic show. And so I love that. I love the fact that he's just going obstacles the way, pushing through, and he deserves all of that success.
Gotta have some bad lives so you can have some good ones. Bad shows so you can have good shows. And now we've never had a bad show. So
That's true.
No. But I will say there is something about going live that is unique. You can't edit out segments. You can't edit out pauses. You got to keep people engaged and entertained. There is a skill. There is a skill to it. And I think D2C brands across the interwebs are going to be largely benefited by learning from, consulting with people like Kip and Braden and Shannon and many others, because there's something here. There's something so solidly here. And I think John Roman and BattleBox is the proof. They're the proof.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So just remember that we were early, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that we were early. And I do actually may have sent a little message about this as of late, but I want to do an official thing with Whatnot, because we need to get John from BattleBox. We need to get Whatnot together, and we need to do an education piece and get a lot of brands there, because they're sleeping. They're asleep on the op.
Dollars to be made. Dollars just laying down on the ground, waiting to be picked up by brands.
Before we move forward to our last batch of stories, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Incense. Don't we all want better ads? Yeah, we do. We sure do. And we'd love humans to be actually involved, human creators who know what they're doing. But you and I both know that process is so disjointed. Finding them, manually negotiating usage rights, all of those things, very difficult, very difficult. Bring me back to Incense here, Jack. Incense is the all-in-one UGC and influencer marketing platform that actually makes creative scalable. All-in-one platform. You get vetted creator marketplace, automated influencer outreach, built-in campaign management. Get content as little as 14 days, okay? So much better than just finding a random TikTok and hoping that it works out. Go get the UGC Playbook 2.0 that they just released at the URL scrolling across the screen. It's going to tell you why the era of Andromeda is a good thing, okay? And what's the playbook forward? Modular UGC. That's right. Modular UGC. Go to Incense, test drive that platform, get it for free. Test drive the platform for free today. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Now, last round of stories for the day. Prego Pasta, the infamous Prego Pasta, has a listening device that they want to put on your table and record all of your conversations and sell your data to the highest bidder. I'm kidding. But they do actually have a listening device that they want to put on your table. This tweet comes to us from Dexerto at Dexerto. Pasta sauce company Prego is launching a device that listens to and records conversations at the dinner table. The device is designed to capture laughter, stories, and everyday moments that can be revisited. Does this sound good on its face, Colin? You like this or not? I hear you breathing heavily to the microphone.
This makes me feel so weird. I don't like this at all. And that's why I'm breathing heavily, because I'm so done with these listening surveillance devices. My pasta sauce is going to be listening to me. What are we doing?
Get out of here. It's for the family, Colin.
Get out of this. I'm unplugging.
Do it for mi familia.
No, this needs to bomb.
You know, the Italians love family. Prego, pasta, mi familia. Okay, before you freak out, another tweet here from Anish Munka that is explaining his thoughts on the Prego listening device. Before you freak out about the Prego listening device, it has no internet, no app, no AI, and no microphone. What is this doing? Like, is this actually, I don't even understand what it's doing now. Okay. He says, and no microphone that turns on by itself, just a button and a memory card you plug into your computer, which is why Amazon's Alexa division is quietly bleeding billions, is what he says. Every time somebody says quietly now, I think they have used AI to write this thing, because AI is always the word quietly. Okay. Everything's quietly. The partner is StoryCorps. the folks who've been on NPR every Friday since 2005, they produce those short family interview segments on Morning Edition when someone's grandma talks about her life. They've recorded conversations from over 700,000 Americans since 2003, and those tapes live permanently at the Library of Congress. I definitely don't want my family conversations living forever permanently at the Library of Congress. Their founder won a MacArthur Genius Grant. The whole thing's pretty much the opposite of a tech company. I'm not sure if I'm sold yet. Compare that to the Echo that was supposed to live in every home. Amazon thought people would shop by voice, order groceries by talking to a speaker in the kitchen. I thought the same thing, by the way. Run their whole lives through Alexa. Instead, Wall Street Journal got a hold of internal documents showing Amazon's devices division losing over $25 billion between 2017 and 2021. The Alexa unit alone lost about $5 billion in 2022. There are over 500 million Alexa devices out there, and most people just use them to set timers, check the weather. Can't agree. It's exactly what I use them for. Shopping by voice never happened. Then, 2023, Amazon paid $31 million to U.S. regulators for two things. They'd kept kids' voice recordings forever, even when parents asked for them to be deleted, and some Ring employees had been watching customers' bedroom and bathroom cameras. No bueno. The pushback is showing up in company behavior now. Amazon laid off hundreds from its Alexa division. In China's smart speaker market, sales have fallen 4 years straight. Prego's move, get the microphone into the homes by making it the opposite of smart. No internet, no AI, just a button. A nonprofit partner that airs on public radio. The whole pitch, we built the dumbest recorder possible because it's the only kind you'll let near your family. $20 bundle, limited run. Launches April 27th. I'm not sold. I'm not buying. I don't think this thing's going to work.
Hard pass. Hope it bombs. Sorry.
You
hope
hope
it
it bombs?
We need less recording devices in our family time, and we need to be more intentional about our family time.
Well, Colin, your smart TV. Your smart TV is also...
I don't have TVs in my house.
That's not true.
I have no TVs in my house.
That is definitely not the case.
I don't even have a TV in my house.
I do not believe that. You have no TV in your dwelling.
No TV. I have a black and white TV with an antenna, and that's it.
No, you don't. Now you're definitely lying. You
are
are lying.
Shed. It's in the shed. If I need to watch news, I go out there and I watch it.
You are lying.
That's it. That's all I got.
But I don't hope that it bombs, but I'm not sold. No more speakers for me. I've had enough, and I like the thought. I get it, but I also think even though we kind of live in these, contradictions and opposites, does everybody want to be recorded and have all of their private information given to Amazon or Meta, whoever, and have somebody review it in Nairobi? No, they don't. Which is actually that is actually happening. Okay, we know that. It's been reported now. There are physical humans who review everything that you're saying and doing, watching, etc. But at the same time, okay, we'll give you a dumb recorder. No, I don't want to plug the thing to my computer. I got to plug it in and manually transfer my memories and all that. No, not happening either. Hard pass. Thanks for playing though. I think an interesting idea, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, creatine salt is real. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, creatine seasoning has come. This tweet comes to us from It's Andrea at Snacks Shot. Creatine salt is real. This comes to us from The Strong Stuff. Creatine seasoning with Himalayan salt. You look at the website. Okay, pretty website. Very lovely. Very lovely. And one would say maybe now, okay, well, every website's got to be lovely because AI can do it all for us. But you can reserve your bottle. Great branding. The Strong Stuff looks like it's coming from North Carolina, actually. Look where it looks like it's coming from. Is that North Carolina? I think that's the North Carolina
my company.
state.
It's my company.
It's not. No, it's
That's
not.
why I'm yoked now. That's why I'm yoked now.
No. If it were peptides, I would believe it, but this is creatine. I think an interesting idea. I would say at the end of the day, probably comes down to what it tastes like. But I'd love to try it.
I love this. I absolutely love this. This is so fun. It's whimsical. I love the idea of putting some creatine seasoning on top of my salad and rocking and rolling, getting my creatine in. This is great. Look at that. New flavors coming in. Let's go.
What are the new flavors? Can we see the new flavors, Jack?
Looks like a lime, and then maybe
orange.
like a zesty orange, possibly, and then a lime.
Orange, huh? Maybe put that on top of your Friday afternoon margarita.
Love it.
I is this the form factor of the future? I don't know. I know that Creates gummies are going up and to the right. I know that much. We got some cool merch. I would say I am still bullish on the new form factor of the future being lollipops from our boy Ben Hindman. But interesting nonetheless. The CPG world continues to innovate. Last story we'll cover today, Netflix short form. Netflix short form is here. Netflix to launch TikTok-style vertical video feed by end of April. This comes to us from Isaac, who has netted, I think, 20 billion, 40 billion views at this point himself and his companies. He gave a talk about it at Commerce Roundtable. The vertical TikTok-style dopamine drip of short-form videos now coming to Netflix. And everyone will enjoy them and all our brains will be fried. You like this?
I hate this. We need to start intentionally going after long form video. I'm talking like 40-minute, hour-long, hour 30-long clips. We need to push away from this short form video and start consuming long, in-depth content, or else we're just going to be absolutely cooked. I'm talking so cooked. It's not good.
Like actually dumber.
Yeah, we're definitely, it's going to be horrible. It's going to be
There's actually studies behind this. Short form video makes your frontal lobe less active.
What are we doing?
So it's a great way to cook yourself in the morning. Is to wake up and look at short form video for a long time and just kind of fry your brain for the rest of the day. So probably not the best for humanity, but hey, I get it. As a company, they want to get in the game and compete with TikTok, and we'll see. The TikTokification of every platform continues. Many thanks to Orlando Rios of joining us, founder of Raised by Coyotes, OG in the Austin D2C space, specifically doing great things in the Western wear market. And also many thanks to Kip Roland of Live Selling Lore that is bringing this new platform and way of selling on the interwebs to the many of us who are paying attention. I think it's time for all the brands to pay attention as well. And many thanks to Siguno, Postscript, and Incense for making the show possible. Colin, any last words before we close things out and I go have lunch with our good friend Dean Brennan?
Consume some slow content. You know, consume a man painting a fence for 4 hours and watch him finish the fence.
I will say, I started doing this recently.
It's great.
I found this couple in Azerbaijan, I believe, and they just like make things outside. They just make burgers and guess what? Actually, I want to get them on the show because they are a D2C company. It's called Faraway Village.
I love it.
And they sell like the knives and stuff that they cook and with, and like the little boards and little crafts that they make. And they get millions of views every video. And it's so aesthetically pleasing and relaxing. And we need to find a way to get these people on the show. Faraway Village, Azerbaijan.
Let's do it.
Wow. I'm inspired now. Okay, well, we shall keep everyone updated about perhaps a gathering with Whatnot. It would be cool to do here in the future. And we're going to get Faraway Village from the other side of the earth and their incredible content, long, slow, delightful, peaceful, and aimed at selling their various wares on the internet. Thanks for joining us today. We will be back tomorrow with hot jobs and more incredible guests talking about what's now and next in e-commerce. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you on the other side.